Hello guys, it's Beer. Phenn has dropped in global and he's quite a powerful physical support unit, and he himself can do a lot of damage as you have seen from some of my clears. But today I want to do a little test run to see how Phenn really functions in a Cleric comp with Media, Crick, and Relicia. And while I'm doing this clear, I thought I also do a voiceover so that it might be useful for new players. One thing that I want to highlight why Phenn might be really powerful in a physical Cleric comp is because of the presence of Crick and how he has been buffed in Global and CN compared to his JP counterpart. You will realize that Phenn has a very powerful ultimate, and people are using his ultimate left, right, and center to nuke. But his ultimate also grants 100% potency up to warriors, cleric, apothecaries, and archers. That 100% potency up synergizes really well with Crick's passive ability called Pure Hearted Paladin, so which doubles HP barriers as well as potency up. So with the presence of Crick, Phenn is not giving 100% potency up to your clerics, but he's actually giving 200% potency up, and that is a lot of damage from a cleric. And you'll see here and how Media synergizes really well with this. You're going to see Media doing some serious amount of damage with this potency up. But I thought I'd talk through this clear so that new players might have a glance on how to buff and debuff unit while having a little enjoyment from watching this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So in the first round, it's mostly buffing by Media, Crick, and Relicia. Relicia casts a buff that allows Cleric to exploit any elemental weakness by the enemy. That's mostly for her because Crick and Media inherently can hit light weakness, which is present in Kagemune. Crit Bashing Break is really useful because it allows all clerics with their staff attack to break 2 shields instead of 1. And Media's Grand Abolishment is basically a buff. And then here you're just seeing Phenn doing a little shield shaving with Silent Ambush. As you can see here, none of Kagemune's hit is really hitting anyone because this is due to an A4 by Ophelia EX A4 that grants the front row 2 physical dodges and 2 elemental dodges. So during the first round, I'm safe to do all this buffing and debuffing because of that A4. Next, in the second round, I'm casting Wishveil Pass. So basically, Phenn is acting as a tank. Then I'm using Avite's EX skill, Shanna's EX skill to grant BP, as well as casting Royal Suppression by Edgar. So this enhances the debuff limit, active debuff limit to 50%. So now in this turn, I'm doing some further debuff. So with Relicia, Media, and Crick, we're doing a lot more debuff to try to hit that 50% active cap down. And then with Phenn, I'm casting a buff that increases the damage by staff to further cap up to 30%. Well, because Media already cast the first part of it, so this 20% by Phenn is going to cap it to 30%. And you'll see here during this turn, Phenn is just doing some passive shield shaving with that guard skill that he cast in the previous turn, so my clerics are safe and they're not taking any damage, and Phenn is doing some passive shield shaving as well. So basically this turn is mostly for debuffing the enemy as much as possible. Now we enter turn 4, so I like to call this turn is the cherry on top turn, or where we cast special buffing and debuffing ultimates to really push the comp even further. So here I'm using Moruso EX to cast a variety of buff to the front row. So I'm not even going to go through all these buffs because it's just too many. Anyways, Moruso EX is going to go ahead and buff everything out of my front row. Then Vita is going to cast her ultimate. So this ultimate is mostly for the damage cap up, as well as further enhancing the physical attack of the front row, the physical attack of all the allies. Relisha is going to cast her ultimate. Again, this time her ultimate is basically for a damage limit up, and then Shanna is going to cast Operazione Eterna to grant that BP regen, and then Crit is going to use Heart Fire Slash to further debuff the enemy. And then Media is just doing what Media does. Basically, I don't want her to do any shield shaving because we don't want to break the enemy before turn 5. It's worth noting here that even though Vitae's potency up is really powerful, it becomes 100% because of Cric's passive ability. That potency up doesn't really matter because it's going to be override by Phenn's ultimate in the next turn. Now we're going to start turn 5. We start off by casting the Divine Beast because Vitae have reached her 9 points, so the Divine Beast is going to cast twice. And now I'm using Moruso just to increase the damage cap up on Media. And then Phenn is going to cast his ultimate. Some big numbers there. But the more important thing is that this is going to increase the potency up to 200% because of Cric's passive. And now Relisha is just coming forward, doing some damage. And then Cric is also doing some damage as well. And then it's worth noting that because of the special global and CN pad, we can further increase the damage cap up on Media, and now Media is going to do some big numbers. Yep, as you can see there, that's 1 million per hit. So that's quite a lot of damage. And then because I have Terra's A4, I slot it on Phenn, and now his ultimate is full again. And then using Myogus, I'm casting a buff on Media, and that also fills up Moruso EX ultimate, and then she's ready to go second time. And then Phenn is going to cast his ultimate again, and that's another round of 200% potency up to all your clerics. So I hope this video has managed to show you how to use Phenn in other comps beside bow, and then let's just enjoy the remaining of this video, and I hope you have an amazing day ahead. Have a nice day, everyone.
受けてみろ。これで最後だ。なんとか乗り切れましたね。